This video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs. Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Star 7 Gallantmon, which is coming out next month with the release of Set 6. And these are both very, very good star decks. We've got this one and the blue All-Force Featuremon one as well. So I will be making a video on that one that should drop tomorrow. So look out on the channel for that guy. But today we're going to talk about this one. And it's really, really cool. Both these decks are kind of more like powered up than kind of like the first 6 star decks that we had were very kind of basic. It's just kind of like, here's kind of what the color is, and maybe here's like a couple like staple cards if you need them. But this one has like some more extension cards and like also just generically good cards for the meta itself. So really excited to talk about it. I also have 2 deck lists for this as well, so those will be at the end of the video, or if you just want to hit the link in the description as well. I do kind of have some example kind of upgrades. One is more of a budget version, one's kind of it's less of like an upgrade of the deck and more of just using some of the key elements and some of the key cards from this deck for kind of a different archetype. So that's what we've got there, but let's jump into it. And first, you guys will know that there are these memory boost promos. Each one of these star decks, either the red one or the blue one, will have one of each of these cards, so 6 cards total. And these are just fantastic cards. I made a whole video about them, so make sure to check that out. But this is already kind of worth the money you have to spend for a star deck, and then you have a whole stack on top of it. So definitely keep these cards. Make sure you recognize the value of them. And let's just jump on to the 50 cards in the list. So first we've got the Digimon on the left. And so it's your turn once per turn when one of your opponent's Digimon is deleted. This gets plus 2k DP for the turn. So it's maybe a little bit of a difficult kind of condition to hit, but 2k DP is like a very big boost. Kind of when I started playing the game, I'm like, oh, 1k boost doesn't really do anything, but I really kind of noticing after playing, I've played probably close to 200 games at this point. That 1k can make a huge difference a lot of the time, especially if you're trying like you're level 4 trying to hit over a level 5, and 2k can really ramp it up and make it very viable to either trade or even hit over something. So that's fantastic, especially since getting that 2k boost means that most blockers in this game right now are either 5k or 6k. So being able to hit over that barrier of 5k or 6k on a dude is very good. So 2k is already like half the way there for that. So it might be a little bit tricky to get, but it's also anytime. So it can be card effect, it can be swinging over something, anything like that. So to also compare, we have the Digimon from BT2. Just when there are 5 or more cards in your opponent's trash, this game's plus 1k DP, which is almost always. So as long as it's like the first 2 turns of the game, your opponent's probably going to have some cards in trash, especially right now. And purple will always put cards in their trash, and a couple other decks are kind of starting to do that as well. So I think that's a very viable card. We also get this new Demi-Merimon from BT6 as well. Just when attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 1k DP for the turn. So I think those 2 are just kind of contrasting for this guy, but that's just kind of how I want to just kind of compare the power level of this guy. So next up we have some rookies. So the list, the deck comes with 14 rookies. With the one on the far right is a reprint of the Monodramon from BT1. So it is the same card number, so you can't have 4 of this art and 4 of the other art. So just be careful on that. But we do have these other new cards. So first is the Gallantmon. I don't know how you say it. I say every version of it. But you only get 2 of these per star deck. So ideally, if you want a playset of all the cards, you get 2 of the red star deck and 2 of the blue star deck. That will get you a playset of all the cards, and then including the memory boost cards as well. So watch out for that. But it has your turn while your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon, you may digivolve this Digimon into a Gallantmon in your hand with a devolution cost of 4, ignoring its devolution requirements. So this is really good. We kind of saw this with like Impmon going into Beelzemon, and it's just Beelzemon, sorry, and it's just very powerful, especially with some of the cards you get. It also has a really nice your turn once per turn when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, trigger draw 1. So that's just fantastic. 4 is a bit of a hefty cost at times though, just because it's really easy to be at 3 with the tamers that you have, but you are able to get some memory boost from the set to kind of boost you up a little bit, which is really nice and can kind of help you get there and stay on your turn. And then swing with the Gallantmon can be very, very powerful. We also do have this Egman. With this Digimon attacks a player, gets plus 2k DP for the turn. This is kind of nice, especially if you have this and then also like the Demi-Meramon, you're giving a 3k boost for swinging into leaders. So if you're playing like a very aggressive deck, this can be very helpful for what you're doing. We also have this Biomon, which I don't think really fits with the theme of the deck, but it's just a rookie blocker, which is really nice. It's weird that red gets one. We've seen this for black and everything, but just as a generically good card, you kind of want to run a couple blockers as it is. Obviously, it's very fragile. It's only a 3k DP, but if you want to run a blocker without having to kind of give up spaces for your rookies, or even I've seen you have some hard times finding some spots for your champions just because your level 4s. There's just so many good choices sometimes. Just having this Biomon be okay, I'll give up a rookie spot for my blocker and go from there. Especially because you can just hardcast for 4. This can be really good in certain situations. So there is that. Going to our champions. So we do have 10 champions in this list as well. We do have. Oh shoot, I'm blanking on the name of this guy on the right. This is also a reprint from BT1. Tell me the name in the comments. I'm going to be very embarrassed what it is. But this is just a straight reprint from BT1. So once again, you can't run for this art and for the other one. But it's Tyrannomon. All right, it's right. I haven't. There's no edit. This is a straight one-off recording. So I think it's Tyrannomon or Dark Tyrannomon. I think it's just Tyrannomon. Let me know how wrong I am. Anyways. But it's good. I mean, it's a devolution for 1, which is always very, very powerful. And we also have this Geo Greymon in the middle. It has this one is just generically going to be very good, not only for like red lists, but a lot of security control lists. Really like this card has security at the end of battle. Play this card without paying its memory cost, which is already good. But also on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4k DP or less. So this is just a great card in itself. The fact that you can play it for free off your security, and then you get this, and you also get to trade something with your opponent. So like best case, your opponent swings at the rookie dies, you play this for free, and then you can pop like another rookie. Like that's a huge power swing on this guy. It's also Greymon, which is just a great name to have. And you can even just hardcast this for 6 and pop a rookie as well, or something 4k. I really like this card. It's very fantastic at what it does. And we also do get this Growlmon as well. So this is from, you only get 2 copies of this guy too, but it has a your turn once per turn. When your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. It's a your turn once per turn. I like the idea of red having a way to gain memory for what it's doing. My only concern about this guy is that it is, unfortunately, on a champion where this would be a fantastic rookie effect. We've already seen this with kind of like the yellow Patamon from the Yellow Star deck that just gains you a lot of memory. I'm a little bit afraid that just the Growlmon is just a little bit too tricky to get up. A champion on top of this is a little expensive, but being able to get red, memory in red is a hard commodity to come by, so it's definitely really appreciated. And you can just hardcast this boy for 4 and then go from there, which is also very, very nice. Going to the ultimates, we do have a War Growlmon. It just has a when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. It's a little bit low, which kind of stinks. If this just said delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, this would be, I think, a little bit better and not terribly unfair. But you do get 4 of this guy. You also get it also has Interrable. Your turn once per turn when one of your opponent's Digimon is deleted, this gains security attack +1 for the turn. Which can be good. We do have, spoilers, a piercing card coming up next. So if you have this underneath it, you swing over something with piercing, you do get the security attack +1, and then you get to apply the piercing on top of that. So you can do 2 checks, and then obviously get all these other effects. So the dream is that you get to gain a memory, and then the Gallantmon will let you trigger draw 1. So that's very, very good. Helps you out there. We also have this Rise Greymon. It just has a on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less, which can help you delete most blockers. A lot of people are playing the Digivolution for 1 blockers, which are 5k. And this just being able to, play for 7, it is a little expensive to do that, but being able to pop something for playing something is good, especially since it can pop a lot of level 4s. So you pop your opponent's level 4, and then you get a level 5 out yourself. That can be really nice. And then we also have 2 of the Quadramon reprints. This is, once again, just a reprint from BT1, but it's a very good card, obviously a 5/2. and it's just alternate art, so there we go there. And then going to our megas, we have both this Gallantmon and this Shine Greymon. Once again, we do have 2 of the Gallantmon, and I'm pretty sure it should be 4 of the Shine Greymons, but it has Security Attack +1, which is already kind of good, especially for a Devolution for 3. And then when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4k DP or less. If this effect does not delete a Digimon, this gains +3k DP until the end of the turn. So I really like the fact that it can pop something. It's kind of rough sometimes that it's triggered on when attacking, just because it can be kind of tough to do that on the same turn you Digivolve it, and then it's a little vulnerable. 4k is also a little bit low. I would have liked to see 5k, just because you're able to, there's a lot of Rookie Rush decks, and they play like the 2-cost 5ks, so just being a little bit underneath that kind of stinks. We also do have the Shine Greymon, it's Digivolution for 4, Security Attack +1, and Piercing. And Red has like a moderate amount of Piercing, but this guy is really nice and what it does. And if you have this guy, and then you also have like War Groundmon, you can have like a really strong stack where you have all of these cards. So if you have Digimon underneath it as well, you get to do the additional draw a card, gain a memory, Security Attack +1. So this could do, Security Attack +3, and then it is going to be a 14k and just do a lot of damage. Of course, it is a Digivolution for 4, which once again, 4 is kind of like you want things to cost 3 if you want to keep it on your turn, and more consistently with Tamers, and it can be a little bit costly to do so, but once again, the new memory boost cards can also help you get that extra memory you need. Going to the options, there are no Tamers in these lists. We have the Lightning Joust. One of your Digimon get +2k for the turn. If you have equal to or fewer security cards than your opponent, one of your Digimons gains Security Attack +1. This is just terrifying, being able to get a Security Attack +1 for 1 and a +2k boost. Obviously you have to be behind on it, but I think there are some ways to do that, and it's just it can be very powerful for there. We also get Atomic Blaster, which I don't know if it'd be great in this deck. It does get Destruction for only 5 costs, which is nice, but delete any number of your opponent's Digimon with whose total DP is 8k or less. So that is fantastic. Of course, so if your opponent has 2 4k DPs Digimon, you can just do this and pop both of them. And then once again, so this would proc all of these inheritable effects. So not necessarily War Groundmon, but because that'd probably be kind of tough to do. But Groundmon, you can make this cost only 4, and then you also get some Cycle from Gallantmon, so that's very, very helpful there. And then we'll also on the right we have some Gaia Force reprints as well, which I think people have gotten their copies of this, but being able to do that. And once again, a lot of these cards are very, very helpful in a more security control deck. Atomic Blaster being able to clear a bunch of smaller dudes for cheap is really nice. Or you can just most of your opponent's most level 5s in this game are 8k or less, so you can even just pop a level 5 for only 5 memory, which I think is very, very cost efficient. And then we also have once again the Geo Greymon. I think is also a very big boon for the deck. I've seen a lot of people play the card, and it can be very obnoxious to play around. But that is that. We're going to look at 2 deck lists now that kind of incorporate these cards, and if you want some kind of next steps with getting a couple of these starter decks. All right, so we've got 2 decks for you guys. One is more of a budget, and one is a little bit more expensive, but this one definitely uses more of just the actual starter deck, where the other one is more just kind of abstract. But I really do like the cards for this list, and also if you need the deck list, they should be in the description below as well. But jumping into this is more of a hybrid deck, just because I saw that there was some synergy with having Tamers out and being able to search them and everything that kind of goes with that. So I kind of liked the idea there. So we've got for the low end, we've got this Agumon, who you play him, he looks the top 5 for a Tamer, so you can help you find your Tamers as well. We have Flamemon, does the same thing, looks the top 3, but it looks for a hybrid or a red Tamer, so that can be very helpful. And it is a hybrid itself, so you can find it itself if you need to. We've got Agumon, which is just when the Digimon attacks play, gets +2k DP for the turn, which is nice. The Gallantmon we've already talked about. We've got Agunimon, which once again you can Digivolve this on top of some Tamers, which can also get you surprise lethal at sometimes, so that's very nice. Going into our champions, we've got the Monochromon, which is helpful for just, it's a blocker. What am I going to say? And then we got Greymon, which gives security attack +1. Heritable, we got the Groundmon. And then going into our level 5s, we've got Rise Greymon. Rise Greymon's really good at, helping you play your Tamers for free. And as well, the when attacking in Heritable can be very helpful and synergize with a lot of these cards that we'll see moving forward, because both of the Gallantmon level 6 just says, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4k DP or less. Well, if you time it with this Rise Greymon, you're able to give something -2k, and that just means that this can say delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k or less, which can help you get that kind of over that gap, and this will kind of go from deleting rookies to deleting, level 4s and maybe even a couple level 5s, which is really helpful. We also have this War Growlmon. Just if you have a Red Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP. And this kind of just helps you too, because if you have, this can be like a Digivolve for 2 if your opponent has a rookie out, or and also like you can draw like an extra card if you got the Gallantmon underneath it, so that's really nice. And the Eldamon, this is a hybrid, has security attack +1, inheritable, and then if this Digimon's devolution cards include a hybrid or a Red Tamer, it gains +4k DP, which this is just fantastic for hitting over things that your opponent's probably not expecting to hit over. And if you're able to delete something by playing this, then you're able to get the extra memory, you get some extra card draw, or this can just go like surprise lethal. You go into it, has one more swing than your opponent's expecting for the turn as well. You can definitely try this out. This might be worth running more of or less of, but I think this is an okay card that your opponent's probably not expecting too much of. And just with this and the Digimon underneath it, this becomes a 12k as long as you have a hybrid or Tamer underneath it, so that's very, very good. We kind of talked about the Gallantmons already, but this one's great with the Rise Greymon, once again, because it can pop more things. We also do have this Gallantmon as well. If you have a Red Tamer, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k DP or less, which, once again, if you have like a different Rise Greymon, let's say you have this Gallantmon out already, and you have like Gallantmon, and they have a level 6 out, you can swing with this, give something -2k, and then you can just Digivolve here, and now you can delete something which is 8k or less, which are most of the level 5s, and that can be a huge swing in your tempo as well. And we also have when a Trident Revolver can kind of do the same thing with the Rise Greymon. You can swing with Gallantmon, and then you can just do Trident Revolver, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k DP or less, which once again can become 8k DP or less, which is really helpful. And this also plays a Tamer, which is kind of cost efficient because Red doesn't have a lot of cost efficiency, and like it's a good card in your security as well. We also have 2 of the memory boosts, so obviously you can just you still kind of need to get 2 starter decks, so that should mean that you should have 2 of these red memory boosts, one from each, and that will help you out. And then we have the tie that just gives the +1k boost just because it's cheap, and then also the 3 Tamer as well. And so that's just kind of the idea for the deck. You're just kind of cost efficient, you're a little obnoxious, you gain a lot of value, and then you can kind of poke your opponent down. So I think this is pretty good for a upgrade especially for a budget, and it can kind of get some pressure on your opponent. I mean, just the fact that everything's kind of cheap and efficient in what it's doing, I think it's very, very nice. So here's this one, and then we also have a Bond of Bravery list. If you don't know about Bond of Bravery, it's a new card. It's a level 7. It's a big buff boy Agumon, and it's similar to there's ways to cheat this guy out from a level 3 straight into the level 7. And kind of like the idea with it for this is that if you can already cheat from a level 3 to a level 6, then going from the level 6 to the level 7 can be really good. And just the fact that this is just a 3 memory cost to do what it's doing, I think is really nice. It also has a card effect when attacking. If you have a Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13k DP or less. And then when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, trash the top card of their security. This is just all good. This is just like a really strong card at what it does. You can swing it, you can delete a blocker or something, and then when you delete the blocker, you get something off their stack, and you can swing in on top of it, and then also this gives it security attack +1, and then you get a draw card if this is underneath it. Like all of this, I think is really helpful and feels very good at it. So obviously, like if the Gallantmon or if the Groundmon was instead the Gallantmon where you got the memory, that would be fantastic. That'd be very, very good. But having it on the champion is a little bit more awkward, especially when you might not even be going up a full stack. But yeah, we also do have this new Tai Kamiya So all these cards are from BT6. If you, this is a BT6 deck, but this tie, your turn 1/1 of Digimon with Agumon or Greymon its name other than those guys. Move from the breeding area to the battle area, gain 1 memory, and trigger draw 1. This is very helpful for getting your turn. And then also once per turn, you can Digivolve your Agumon into Agumon Bond of Bravery in your hand for its devolution cost, ignoring its level. If you do, trash 2 cards from your security stack. Then if you have 1 or more security cards, delete the Digimon at the end of the turn. So very aggressive right here, but this can just win you the game. Because this can, with both these guys, this can do 3 damage to your opponent's security. 1 for swing, and then just, being able to delete something if you have a tamer out, and then delete something, you get the effect. And then this gets security attack +1 as well. Very, very strong. And, if you just have another guy out, you're good. I don't know, maybe you should run the Agunimon in here too, because then you'd just be able to go on top of this guy, but maybe you won't have him. I don't know. I think it's just a strong idea, just getting out this big buff boy. And then to kind of get us there, so we do have a lot of Agumons just so we can run the tie from there. And then we have the new one as well. Once again, card effect, all turns per turn. When you play a tamer with Tai Kamiya in its name, you gain 1 memory. And this is kind of nice, especially like if you play it off Rise Greymon, it will still work. So that's kind of cool. I didn't know which one's better, if Marcus is better or Tai, so you can make your own decision there. I think Marcus is better overall in the sense that you'll probably be swimming with Greymons more often, especially like let's say like you have this Geo Greymon in your security, you play it for free, and then you can just swing with it and gain like an extra memory that turn, which I think is very powerful. So the next turn, so you can start with 4, and then have some pressure, and you have a free body, like it's just a big tempo swing. And then from there, Rise Greymon's still very, very good because we're playing a little bit tamer-centric. Maybe, I don't know. The only thing with this deck is that you aren't going to have a full stack, right? It's going to be kind of hard to go all the way up your chain, and maybe having a regular tie is worth it, but I think Marcus is probably a little bit better. That's up to you. Let me know what you guys think if it's Marcus or tie on this guy. And then going from there, we're running also just 3 of the Groundermon, because if we're going up our chain, we want it to be really cheap just to go into our big boys. So we're running 3 of these BT2 Gallantmon just because it does more when you play it, which just means when you go up from Gallantmon to it, it just does more. This can also do like a lot of damage because it has this, when attacking, trash 1 of your opponent's security cards for every 10 cards in their trash. And we also have this War Greymon from the last set. It has a 1 Digivolving. If Digimon card with the Greymon in its name is in this Digimon's devolution card, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with blocker. So like just the fact that this can delete something when you play it is nice. Of course, it's very inconsistent on getting that, but that's good. But it also has an inheritive effect that when attacking, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. So if you go, this is underneath your Agumon Bond of Bravery. You can swing and then you can delete something and get bonus points for that too. So I don't know. I think this has some potential too. I think there might be some better. I don't know. I'll probably make a whole Bond of Bravery deck list anyways. But this is just kind of an extension from the Star deck, from kind of how I saw it, and with the Geogramons, with the Groundermons that you're getting reprinted anyways, going up to Gallantmon by cheating it with Gallantmon is really good, and just like the new red memory boost. But that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe got something from these deck lists. Let me know if you think they're good or if they're trash. Let me know what you guys would change from them. But in general, I'm really excited about the Star deck. I'm actually a little bit more excited about the blue one, so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But I really do appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you all next time.